What's happening? It's Sir William, and today we're overlanding North Carolina. So I started in Asheville, North Carolina. I'm on the hunt for a cool waterside campsite for tonight. Then tomorrow I'm gonna go head over towards the Linville Gorge area and then make my way from there on up to Blowing Rock. Stay tuned. Well, I made it to the first campsite of this trip, and not only is this the first campsite of this trip, but it's actually the first campsite of 2020, so I'm super stoked about that. And I couldn't ask for a better campsite. It's free, it's at the end of a Forest Service road, there's a creek running right here, there's great weather, so I'm super stoked about it. Tonight's agenda, I'm just gonna cook some dinner. I got some chicken, make some barbecue chicken, and then I got some instant mashed potatoes, so quick and easy meal. I'm gonna do that. Tomorrow I'm gonna get up and go explore around this area a little bit and also head up Old Highway 105 and see if I can't find a real nice campsite overlooking the mountain or the Linville Gorge area. I'm gonna try my hand at making a fire tonight. Normally I don't make fires. I wanna get a little bit better at some skills like that, some like bushcraft skills. So I'm gonna try making a fire tonight, so we'll see how that goes. This wood is awfully wet, so wish me luck. Yeah, so I mainly just picked up a bunch of little twigs kind of to get the fire started. And then I only picked up a few thicker logs, and the main reason is because I don't plan on being out here too long. I'm just gonna sit by it for a little while. So I don't need a real long fire, just something to kind of warm me up, you know? Take the chill off right before I go to bed. And while I'm kind of hanging out, listen to this creek over here. So hopefully this will do the trick. And pro tip, buy the boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and also make sure that you have plenty of Ziploc bags, because obviously I'm not going to eat that much chicken. I'm going to grill up some onion to go over the top of that. And another pro tip, these things right here are great for camping. Fold over the top of the bag like that, so that way you don't make a mess. You know, raw chicken, whenever you're out here handling it and all that good stuff, well, the last thing you want is a bad stomachache on the trail, you know what I mean? So just to prevent cross-contamination and all that good stuff, just fold it over like that. And if you did. Also, if you're not already carrying these like disinfectant wipes, do yourself a solid, get you some of these too. Again, these are not gonna, you know, these are gonna keep you from getting sick. You know, like I said, even if you get a bad stomachache on the trail, man, that's it makes for a horrible night, you know what I mean? This is probably my favorite new toy. Between this and that little spice holder right there, this thing right here is great. It's got a really good quality spatula on there, which is nice. It's got some tongs on there. It's got a knife, and it's also got like the spoon. So this thing is awesome right here, and I'm very pleased with it. I'll put a link down in the description, but basically it keeps all of your utensils just right there where you need them, and you never leave home without them, because it's dedicated just simply for camping and nothing else. So it stays in the kitchen box, and then that right there makes the spices a whole lot easier to manage, because all the spices come in different size, you know, containers and different things like that. And with that, I can pack it real nice down into the Plano box, and we're good to go. So both of those deals right there, I'll put the links down in the description for you. Both of them are fantastic items, and I've used them a whole lot, and they've really made things a whole lot easier for me. Also, they're really not that expensive. I think this right here was around $30 or so, and I think that right there was around $20 or so. So yeah, the link's down in the description. Go check it out. Oh yeah, and see, it's got different size holes right there for different spices, right? So pretty cool. And put a little garlic powder. I'll put garlic powder on everything, I'm telling you. This right here is some Montreal chicken. Maybe garlic herbs, I don't know. It's one of them. And this is some Italian. We'll put some of that guy in there. Yeah, what I did was I just mixed my salt and pepper, which makes it a little bit easier. I don't like a whole lot of salt, so I mixed it accordingly. Alright, so now we got that out the way. Let's go ahead and flip these bad boys over. Do the same thing on that side. Yeah, did I mention that I like garlic? Hey, it keeps the fleas away, you know what I mean? Isn't that what they say? You're supposed to feed your dogs garlic in order to keep the fleas away? Then again, I've also heard that garlic's poison, so shit, I don't know. Alright, we're gonna let them chickens hang out. Let's go ahead and cut this onion up. Perfect. And that'll be my onion. I'll saute those up. They'll be nice. They'll be nice. They'll be real nice. See what I was saying about how useful these things are? I mean, we've already used them 3 times. This guy, though, we can use it again because it just had some onion on it, that's all. Now, I had a really cool idea while I was on the way here from, I went to my buddy's house over in Knoxville this past week, and that's how I'm out here. So I had a really cool idea, and the idea was that I was gonna take you guys by the Lodge cast iron place. Now, well, this is just an off-brand, but I have a Lodge at home, and I really like Lodges. Lodge is made here in America, right there in eastern Tennessee, so I really like that. And I was gonna go by the factory and take you guys by there, but they didn't get back to me in time, so maybe coming up soon. Leave a comment down below if you guys would like to see that. Y'all know how to find out if your pan's hot enough? Put just a little bit of beer on it. That was a little bit more than I wanted to, but anyway, it's hot enough. Go ahead and slap these guys on there. And the beer's not gonna hurt them. I want y'all to take note of my fire over there, huh? I mean, hey, it's something, you know. I mean, I didn't start it with, you know, one of those bow sticks or anything, but shit, that's a fire. And if you watch any of my other videos, you know that I really don't do fires too much, so it's a pretty good start, I think. And I didn't have any gas. Because last time I started a fire with gas, this is what happened. Damn! So I'm hooking you guys up with all the secrets today. Here is another cool, useful tool. I'll put the link down in the description. I call this Stanley. I don't know what the actual name of it is. It is made by Stanley. His name's right there on it. So you can boil water in it, cook whatever you need to. I cook rice in here. I'm about to cook these mashed potatoes in here, and as you can see, you got 8 ounce, 12 ounce, 16 ounce, 20 ounce markings. Pretty cool, right? Check it out. All right, so now put these right there. Basically, I'm gonna put a little bit of the beer on there first. Then I'm gonna put this on there, a little Sweet Baby Ray's. Flip it. Do the same thing again. All right, there you go. Boom. What do you guys think, huh? I'm telling you, those boneless, skinless thighs, man. That's where it's at. And you saw how cheap they were. Was it $6? You can't beat that. This is why I don't do fires, you know? You gotta constantly tinker with them. It's like an old Harley Davidson. It's pretty imperative that you put away your stuff whenever you're out camping, because you never know what kind of critters could be out there. And in some places, it's actually illegal for you to leave your things out. They have bear lockers, different things like that. So just make it a habit to always put your stuff inside the vehicle or locked up and in containers. Make sure there's no food around the campsite. Like I said, the last thing you want is some kind of crazy critter coming up in the middle of the night. I sleep in the rig, so it's not that huge of a deal. But, you know, bears get hungry enough, man. They've been known to tear into a rig or two. So go ahead and put it all up. Take all the precautions you can. Good morning. Day number 2 of my little excursion through North Carolina, I guess. I don't really know what the title of this is going to be, so basically just kind of out hanging out, cooking up some breakfast. All I've really got is an onion, sharp cheddar, some eggs, sausage. So I'm gonna mix it all together and we're gonna make something of it. I do have some oatmeal too, but the problem with that is, well, I have to use Stanley in order to cook that oatmeal. And if you remember last night, I used Stanley to cook the mashed potatoes, and there's still some in there for tonight's dinner, so couldn't use Stanley. How about my campsite, huh? Pretty badass, right? Right here next to water. You know, they didn't have to tell me that there was a study that said so, but they did a study, and supposedly people are more relaxed and less stressed and sleep better when they sleep next to water. Who knew, right? Secret is, I knew all along. But at any rate, I like camping next to water. So the way that I found this campsite was the same way that I find every other campsite, just kind of exploring around, looking on Gaia. I actually found one on freecampsites.net up on down the road some. It was all right, it was pretty cool. That's where the intro was shot there. I had 0 service, so I figured I'd go try to find something with service. I also needed a few things, so I stopped by Walmart, stopped by the Pilot to get some gas. Then when doing that, I noticed that there was a highway that ran up that looked pretty good, like it was a nice windy road, which tells me it was probably in the mountains. So I decided I'd follow that highway up, and in following that highway up, I came across this lake that I'd actually remembered being at before, back when my buddy George and Christy and I all went to Linville Gorge. I remembered passing this lake, so I drove down a bit, found this. So not bad, right? No plans, just kind of winging it. So because I found out that I was so close to Linville Gorge, I actually had some tracks downloaded from, I can't remember the website that I got them from. It was like a forum, I think it was on Overland Bound. But I had some tracks that led from the Linville Gorge area to Blowing Rock. I downloaded them for that trip that we all did and only used some of them. But part of those tracks are Old Highway 105 in North Carolina, which is a really cool spot. And I remember that there was some really cool campsites along that road. So I'm gonna go up there tonight, and that's probably where I'll stay. Let me tell you, you put a little bit of this mozzarella steak inside of your eggs, you're gonna thank me. Some good stuff, man. All right, so let's see, where am I at? I'm right here, and I need to be all the way over there. So I'm gonna come up Highway 105 right there. Now I was gonna take this right here is the Blue Ridge Parkway, and I was gonna take that, but it's always closed, and you know, now is no different. So I'm actually gonna head up the highway that way. But yeah, just kind of give you an idea of how I kind of navigate is I usually start where I want to go and then work backwards. So if you come in on the north side of Old Highway 105, you will come to a little spot right on the left-hand side, which is the parking lot for Linville Falls. Now, it's like a 0.4 mile hike to actually get to the falls, but it's totally worth it. It's beautiful waterfalls. Whew. It's only 0.6 miles, but when you're out of shape, it's a lot. Make sure you're ready to climb. Wasn't that pretty though? So it's only 0.6 miles from the furthest point, but it's a total of probably somewhere around a mile, mile and a half. If you're gonna hike down to both points, see both views, and then hike back up to the main parking lot there. What I will tell you is it's a bunch of uneven climbs and descents. So It'll test you out a little bit, especially if you don't do this on a regular basis. My plan for 2020 is to get out and do a little bit more of this. I've been pretty beat up over the past few years with multiple motorcycle wrecks, stuff like that. Whenever I was younger, I wasn't any easier on myself with BMX and ramp jumping and rollerblading and all that. So my ankles have a heck of a time. And my left ankle has been bothering me now for probably around 1.5 to 2 years. They can't figure out what's wrong with it, but I finally broke down and got a cortisone shot. And before I realized that they were actually a little bit bad for you. But at any rate, now that I got that cortisone shot, I can move and I can be a little bit more mobile. So I'm looking forward to getting out and about, seeing more places like this. You can go around and you can see a whole bunch of different places inside of your rig whenever you're overlanding, but the really pretty spots require you to walk to them. All right, well, here we are. I found a campsite. So I went on down through 105 and then I connected with another Forest Service road after the main highway there. I can't remember the name of it, but at any rate, basically it's on the other side of Linville Gorge. I tried to make it up to Table Rock and Table Rock was closed, so I couldn't do that, but I got back onto the Forest Service road, followed it out to, I think it's Highway 181. From 181, I connected with yet another Forest Service road and then tried to make my way on up to Blowing Rock, but unfortunately I was unable to do that because I came across the ever so popular, in the Southeast that is, road closed sign. So it's just what it is, man. Whenever you're overlanding in the Southeast, it's constant road closures for various different reasons. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So at any rate, I came back, found this campsite earlier, so I came back to it. It's not a bad campsite. It doesn't have any water next to it, which is kind of what I was going for. I actually got periodic cell phone signal, which is kind of crazy how that works. I mean, check this out, huh? Got a little surround sound. Got my little entertainment center right here. That's a pretty dope setup, right? You know, one of the cool things about being in the rig and sleeping in the rig and basically having my whole setup here in the rig is, well, for weather like this, which is so common in the Southeast. Basically, all I had to do was just throw on a fresh pair of clothes, man, and I'm ready to roll. I don't have to get out there and mess with all that. I don't have to pack up a tent. I don't have to wait for nothing to air dry whenever I get back home. Just hop in the driver's seat and roll on. That doesn't mean that it sucks any less. It's still kind of a crappy experience whenever it's raining outside. But what I've come to realize is that anytime you're exploring around the Southeast region, pretty much all of it's temperate rainforest up in the mountains. They're gonna get anywhere between 30 and 40 inches of rain annually, and the chances of it raining while you're there are pretty likely. That being said, I just kind of deal with it. The awning has made it a huge help, so if I wanted to hang out, then I could hang out with the rain. It's not that big of a deal because I do have that awning. I do plan on getting a larger awning. Also, I plan on getting one of those kind of screened in areas, so that'll help out too. So that would really be the only modification that I'd say that, you know, would be highly necessary. But otherwise, man, just sleeping in the rig right here, I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. I just hop into the truck and then I'm ready to roll. People ask me all the time why I don't get a rooftop tent or something like that, and this is why. Ultimately, could I have done it? Sure. Is it that big of a pain in the ass? Well, I mean, you're gonna get soaked putting it up, but you know, other than that, it's not really that big of a pain in the ass. But this right here is completely simple, and I don't have to worry about anything. Not only that, but the added benefit is security. If for any reason somebody were to come up and cause any trouble in the middle of the night, or for any reason I had to get up and get out very quickly, then I could do that rather than kind of hang around. And whenever you're dealing with some of the hillbillies out here in these hills, you never know what can happen. So that being said, that's the reason that I choose to rig sleep. I'm gonna go ahead and head out to Spartanburg now. It's about a 2-hour drive. It's not really gonna be that eventful. It's primarily gonna be this rain that you see, and once I get off this Forest Service road, there is no more pretty road. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits for me today. I hope that you guys liked this video. Hopefully you found it entertaining, or maybe even learned something. I know it was a spur of the moment thing. I didn't really have a plan for it. It was more so I was just out exploring and wanted to share the views with you guys. So hope you like it. If you did, make sure that you hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like it, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, peace.